Welcome back to Unmasked. I'm your host, Tanya, Casole, Gouviea, and we are deep in the heart of the Drake Underground at 1150 Queen Street West. We've got another great show for you tonight featuring Estyr, Roshin, and Jahmal Padmore. So, come on, let's sneak through the back door. This next artist is evolving and refining her indie folk sound with songs that have lush, singable lyrics and warm acoustic guitar that truly envelops the listener. Come get wrapped up in Estyr.
You were the love I had, then lost. Might have been better to not. You can't fall halfway. I'd rather be lonely than trying to stay. It's not you, it's not me. It's human alchemy. You came to me on this, pure-hearted, looking for a bone to keep. Well, these bones might be pretty, but honey, they're needy. They'll slip away when you least expect. You can't fall halfway. I'd rather be lonely than trying to stay. Wishing I could change. It's not you, it's not me. It's not you, it's not me. Cauterize the wound inside with your good intentions. The soul is stronger than my will and strongest suggestions. You can't fall halfway. I'd rather be lonely than trying to stay. Wishing I could change. It's not you, it's not me. It's not you, it's not me. It's not you, it's not me. It's human alchemy.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm so lucky to be joined here on stage by Estyr, who just did Human Alchemy for us. That was wonderful. How are you doing? First things, how are you doing?
I'm so good.
Yeah. You haven't performed in a while, live, for a live audience. So how did that feel?
It felt incredible. It felt like a real upgrade from JVC camcorder from 2001 that I just recently found.
Oh, cool.
This is like quite a bit nicer. So plus the light.
A little level up. Yeah, I know. We got some production value in here just for you. I mean, we're like, let's get the top artists in the city and then let's also give them that production value. So here we are. Thank you so much for being part of Unmasked. Honestly, that song, the lyrics, they definitely are a little earworm, and it's not you, it's not me. It's like, I just can see that in so many places in terms of like movies and like the big like culminating scene. How did you come up with that song?
I really tried to live my life on a track of deliverables.
Okay.
And I thought that I had to do a few things in my 20s, and one of them was make a certain relationship succeed. And eventually, that relationship didn't make it. It had to be left behind, and I think exiting that relationship and facing the loneliness of life after was really exceptionally hard. And I was telling my brother about it, and he said, Estyr, you need to take that pain and that fear, and you have to put it into your art. I swear to you, this is what my brother told me.
What a great brother.
And so I sat down and I wrote Human Alchemy literally that night. I was like, I can either sit here and cry, or I can sit here and cry and write this song. So I did the second one.
Excellent. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you did. So thanks for doing that for all of us. I know you've been singing since you were young in church, but sort of focusing on being a singer is something that is sort of new for you. And you said before, you characterize yourself as an emerging artist, as evolving and kind of still becoming the artist you are. And I really liked, you said, I would regret not doing it. So that's like making the decision because you know that if you didn't try, at least try your darndest, that it wouldn't be, you couldn't live with that. So I think that's really, really an interesting sort of reason for being and doing. And so how does that sort of drive you forward?
I'm one of the many Canadians who has lived in the aftermath of an immigrant journey. And, when your parents, they struggle for survival as a second-generation immigrant, sometimes you feel this spiritual burden of self-actualization. Those aren't my words. Like, I heard them somewhere, but I can't remember where.
But I think that's a story that many people can identify with for sure.
Yeah, and I've always been a late bloomer in everything, and I just tried to have a full-time job. But at the end of the world, what are you gonna do? And I think that when that relationship ended, that was kind of like an end of the world moment for me. The pandemic has been an end of the world moment. It's like, well, at the end of the world, like, are you really not gonna do the thing that you're supposed to do?
Yeah.
You have nothing to lose.
Wow.
So I think that my art has come out from that like sort of apocalyptic state of mind. But there's this old proverb that says it's better to go to a funeral than to go to a wedding, because at a funeral you like contemplate your existence. And so I think these like hard, sober realizations we've had during the pandemic are really valuable, and that's why now. Yeah.
Right. There was, I read in one of on social media, you said something about how the isolation and pandemic and quarantining actually helped you sort of to refine and define your sound. So how did that work? And tell me a little bit. I know you've had a lot of changes in this little pandemic. So let's speak to that. Maybe a little...
I've literally never done that in my life.
Oh, really?
Go.
Okay. She got engaged during the pandemic.
I did. I got engaged. What was the question? I got distracted.
Something about, just show us the ring. No. How isolation sort of helped you to find your sound.
Oh, yeah. Well, I love to procrastinate. I love to put things off. And in a vacuum, I finally got to pick up the loose ends. I've heard someone call them leftovers.
Okay.
So I finished that 1,000-piece puzzle that I had under my
good,
bed. It took me
good.
8 months, but I did it.
Yes.
I did it.
Oh,
Y'all.
check that off. Check
Y'all.
that off.
And then I had all of these songs that I'd started, and I'm just finishing. I'm finishing the first season, closing the first chapter so that I can move forward with my life, whatever that is. I also just like love being at home. I love it.
Okay, yeah, you're a homebody, get cozy.
Yeah, and I think about my life in the before times, and I just picture myself like on my bike, like in a rush, cold and tired and hungry to get somewhere else. It felt like life was just like getting somewhere else.
Yeah, and now you had that moment to just be.
Yeah.
I love that. I do want you to let me know, give us a little tease, what's coming up for you in 2021? Besides maybe some nuptials or something. I don't know.
Nuptials, y'all. I will be dropping a new single called Slow Drip with this music video that I made with Serville Poblete, my fiancé, as well as Morgana Mackenzie, who is a talented cinematographer. And then later on, actually, this is how I met my partner. He made this film called Altar Boy, and I wrote the soundtrack.
Whoa.
And so that's like a soundtrack accompaniment to Altar Boy, which will come out at the end of the year. And then it will stand alone as its own project, and it's called All Tied Up. And it explores kind of like this tension space of being an immigrant teenager in the suburbs of Richmond Hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lots of threads, lots of things tied together.
Yeah.
We'll be staying tuned for Slow Drip. Thank you so much, Estyr, for being here. And thank you so much. Stay tuned. We've got lots more coming up. Born and raised in Toronto, they rep the city 100%. Real hip hop that's emotional, honest, off the cuff, and at the ready. Here's Roshin and Bozack Morris.
Rolling up the broccoli, fill the car with the conversation. Flipping through my phone while it shuffles, sound like a compilation. I know Flores in Toronto, I got more in Saga. Stay high, kid, the floor is lava. Let's go. Yeah. I woke up early afternoon, but that was then, homie. Stayed up till morning, writing smoke to keep the train going. Lifelong, record these pop tracks to keep the lights on. It could be techno house or rap, dog. I write songs, figured out right from wrong, and Shorty told me I could get it. And I do now, from my perspective. Man, I'm on the corner like a legend, mapping out the celebration. There's levels to this, lines will illustrate the elevation. See, even when I'm non-topical, I'm tropical. Dripping Acapulco with the popsicle. I would know, I slick the peppers in your pasta bowl. Bossa Nova big bands, rainbows with the pot of gold. Had my dealer's number, now we got a calling code. Cause anyone can get it like a common code. I think like Will Ferrell, but I drink like Carlin, no. With all these lines I open up like it's a Carlin show. Stay behind my bars, you lose an arm in there. Tiger King, paper out the ass like I'm the Charmin Bear. Throw the towel, I can use it in the barber's chair. I'm noodles with the cream, yeah. Spaghetti a la carbonara. Crazy with the cash, nuts with the notes. Dumbin' with the Douglas, dumbin' with the dough. Like meat, yeah. I'm running when I hit the road. I'm winning and I'm dipping like Riddick Bowe. Fourth quarter, final seconds. Kawhi Leonard with the big shot. Bounce 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going down. Final seconds. Kawhi Leonard with the big shot. Bounce 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going down. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, it's going down. 2, 3, 4, it's going down. 2, 3, 4, it's going down. 2, 3, 4. You pass gas, we puff, pass gas. Got quads for the third chakra, the bombs in the hurt locker. It's pure vodka, that's purified out of Minnetonka. I'm Willy Wonka, I Millie Rock on my Twitter blockers. Run the bases like Soriano, but horizontal. If she wanna stand up, I'm Norm Macdonald. Had it there so early, we went and ordered nachos. She do it for a fella, even when it's for a follow. See, I went to Santa Monica for all the flowers, writing for the smoke, then recorded it on ungodly hours. Frenemies, room full of smoke, trying to let it breathe. Legacy, get up to rap, and even my legacy, recording pop demos while I stand on one foot. I feel like Neil Armstrong. If we land it, we good. I'm up the pop game delivers. I'm the Don, I'm the face, I'm the killer. Shooting light, rock, paper, scissors. Fourth quarter, final seconds. Kawhi Leonard with the big shot. Bounce 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going down. Final seconds, Kawhi Leonard with the big shot. Bounce 1, 2, 3, 4, it's going down. Hey. 2, 3, 4, it's going down. Hey. 2, 3, 4, it's going down. Come on. 2, 3, 4, it's going down. What? 2, 3, 4.
It's off to Leonard, defended by Simmons. Is this the dagger?
Roshin, Bozack Morris, let's go.
And we're back with Roshin and Bozack Morris. We just heard Kawhi off the new 7-inch that you've released, remixed by Bozack Morris. Let's see that 7-inch. There she is. Kawhi. All right, so elephant in the room. You guys really like Kawhi.
Yeah, you gotta celebrate the greatest moment in Raptors history.
Right. Well, you really like it's basketball. It's really basketball and Raptors, and then that kind of led into Kawhi. The biggest, that's like the moment. Like I remember where I was when that ball dropped. Like that's one of those moments that you're gonna remember in your life forever, right?
My God, I think the entire city was on smash at that point, man.
Yeah.
I remember when that happened and that went in. It's like I grabbed my pillow and I smashed the shit out of everything in my room with it.
It was weird because like when we won the chip, there was like this lull of like everyone on the floor like being like, "Did we win?" And there was like a free throw.
It was the longest freaking
It was like
win
really
ever.
empty, like weird. It felt weird, right? But like when we won against when Kawhi hit that shot against Philly, man, that was the championship.
That was it.
I don't know, man. I mean, like, is there a better buzzer beater in history? What do you think?
No.
The OG one from earlier this season was not bad. Like the walk away, that was pretty good.
I mean, if we won the series, I would say that would have taken it.
True.
But I mean, like, come on, man. That's the shot right there.
No,
man.
and now it's immortalized forever in a song. So let's talk about the song. How'd that come about? How did you guys get connected? And December 10th, it dropped. It was made available. So let's talk about what that was.
Yeah.
Like.
So the original of that is I started working on a project with my guy Gnome, who's a singer-songwriter, also a rap producer from Toronto, and it kind of just happened that it came out quick. The very beginning of this performance, I did the first bit of a song called Floor is Lava, which is also going to be on a future project. But the song Kawhi kind of just felt right because we wanted to do something that felt triumphant and like celebratory of the city, which we sometimes have a hard history of celebrating, and it's pretty hard to not celebrate that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was what it felt like. And when I reached out to Bozack to see if he was down to work, and he wanted to remix this one, and like that's the one I wanted. So, got my wish, and one of my favorite producers in Canada, period, man. So that makes me happy.
That's so cool. I like that you talked about that sort of triumphant moment, the Celly, because you've kind of, Roshin, you were kind of a little bit away. You were trying other things, and now you're back. Yeah. You're saying it's kind of like you're putting the world on notice a little bit.
This shit is, like, part of my language. Like, I rap, you know what I mean? And the last project I did was pretty, pretty left field for me in terms of, like, what people were expecting. I sing a lot. Mm-hmm. And played keys and let the music and melodies come that way. But before this, I've been in rap groups, you know what I mean? So like it's hard to necessarily have that same shine and get pointed to as like that guy all the time if you're part of that, which is, no shot to my guys. I wouldn't have been able to do any of these things without those guys. But I felt like I'm at a point where I'm ready and I wanted to, show everybody what we're doing. So is this a bit of a coming out party and what we can expect kind of going forward? Hell yeah. Yeah. So what can we expect going forward? I mean, the music from coming forward is it's obviously going to be rooted a lot more back in my bag, which is rapping. It's just what I'm trying to take from it is the songwriting from other elements from places that I've gone musically, whether it's like techno music, pop music, or whatever that might be, and adding that element, and also just kind of leaning on who I am as a person, which is like sometimes pretty up and down, emotional, vulnerable, like go through real shit. You know, we all do. So don't be shy about it. You can say whatever you want to say. That's what I love about hip hop.
Yeah, the real, the specificity, the moment in time. Toronto through and through.
Toronto, stay winning.
Yeah, you got
Toronto
born and
is
raised. Let's talk quick about just like the mark that you hope to leave on the city, or maybe conversely, what the city has left on you.
Oh shit! Do you want to take this one first?
Mine's gonna be really long-winded, man. So you go first, man.
All right, word. I mean, like, the city is my everything. So, like, I mean, personally, it's like I feel like we have like the best artists in the world. You know what I mean? And I mean that across genres. I mean that across mediums. And like, there's a level of a hesitancy to celebrate that within ourselves. It feels like sometimes, or a wanting to get a cosign from elsewhere. I just want to be a part of that change. You know what I mean? And I think that like the next generation of artists coming up have that mentality a lot better of being able to support each other. And I just want to encourage that as much as possible, because that's how I feel about it here. But when you go down to New York, go to LA, and people find out you're from here, it's not like, oh, you're from Canada anymore. It's like, you're from fucking Toronto.
Cool.
Like, they trip, because they should.
Yeah.
You're great.
Yeah. Do you have
the
little digest version, Bozack?
I mean, it's like. I mean, he touched on it. I mean, like, you go anywhere in the States and, you know, they look at us like we are untapped resource. We got gold out here. And so part of the thing is like, I think that we can become that city, you know, and, you know, what I want to do is I want to create the blueprint and not just create it, but just cultivate, you know,
I love that.
our talent and all this dope shit that we have going on in the city, and be able to get it out there and do it ourselves without have to rely on anyone else, like all the gatekeepers in the city and all the people that's kind of controlling everything, who don't really know what the hell is going on. You know, I think that we can do it ourselves, especially with technology at our fingertips.
Ground up. I love that. We'll leave it at that. We got gold here. We hope you see more gold coming up on Unmasked. Thank you, Roshin and Bozack Morris.
Brat.
Bop, bop, bop.
We're here with Jahmal Padmore. Jahmal, how are you doing?
Good. I'm so good.
So close but so far.
I was wearing my mask just so that when we look back at this in 2022, no one can say I was an anti-masker.
No.
Yeah.
We are unmasked, but we are
Yes.
not anti-mask.
And we're separated by this this very bespoke handmade plexiglass. Shout out to whoever created this.
I mean, we should have probably invested in some plexiglass.
is this real glass?
We're not here to
Ooh, is
talk
that
about
tempered? My
the
God.
barriers between us
Splashing
that
the
are
Drake.
physical. Maybe the barriers that are more like mental barriers or things like that. That's what we want to get into.
The spiritual barriers.
Spiritual barriers.
And the artistic barriers.
How are you
Yes.
are you a barriers person? Like when someone's like, oh, I need, or like, you know, those buzzwords of triggers and barriers. How are you with things like that? Like those creating boundaries, we'll say.
Personally, I have very little shame, and very few boundaries and triggers. I welcome it all. You know,
Okay.
I'm the kind of
A
person
sponge.
I want that smoke.
Okay.
Yeah, that's sort of my general disposition.
Why?
But it's very important to respect other people's boundaries and triggers. And even though wearing a mask might make one uncomfortable, very topical for the moment, you know, it makes other people feel better. So you have to, you know, respect others and their needs and their feelings. I'm good with that.
I miss the days when we were on the subway and then there's one really cool, probably Asian dude would come in with like a cool fashion-y outfit and a mask, and you're like, oh, he's different, he's cool, he's like fashion. Yeah. And it was like a fashion thing. Do you remember that?
Fashion forward masks.
Yeah, and now it's like everybody's
Yes. Now we're all
fashiony.
doing it. Yeah.
Should we talk about some music?
Sure. Sure.
So
I mean, like, it's a global pandemic, so we're not at fault for talking about
True.
masking and wonderfully tempered glass.
Yes. But I want to talk music with you because
Yes.
you're a songwriter, producer first, but we're going to be hearing more of your your beautiful voice coming up soon.
That's very nice of you to say.
You're welcome.
Yes. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to perform the What's in the Box. I think I performed one of the very first ones ever. I want to say like back in like 2000 and whatever.
Something or other.
Whenever this started, I'm aging myself.
It's all right.
I mean, I also didn't really hit the Just for Men in my beard either. So, I didn't do the Will Smith today. So get real close.
Get in there. Get in there. Not too close.
Yeah,
not too close.
I'm so sorry. I want to respect your boundaries. I'm so sorry.
I want to talk a bit about your, talking earlier, you had a great analogy because you are quite prolific. We just haven't necessarily seen it on social media. And that's where to be honest, that's where we're finding music these days is Spotify or playlists or things like this. But it's all online. It's all at the social channels. And so we haven't really seen that from you. But you have a whole suburb of hits. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean that's a great way to sort of to frame it. I always talk about sort of like my songs being in different stages of development. I mean, I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of songs. Some are like a verse, some are a chorus. Some are full productions, and I look at it and I'm like, oh, I don't like the siding on that, so I'm gonna rip it off. Or I trim the shrubs and the hedges and stuff. Yeah, it's like in an ever evolving, ever changing state of flux. But there's always songs coming. They're always there.
Yeah. How do you know when something's ready to go? Like when you're like, this is done. Like how is it like? How do you know?
I think any songwriter will tell you that a song is never finished. It's never done. Because I think the essence of like songwriting is trying to get get at an energy, trying to get at an idea, an emotion, a feeling. You're trying to capture a specific je ne sais quoi.
Okay.
There's something like very special in every song, a specific energy. And that's what you're really trying to capture, and you don't merely do that just through the lyrics and through the chords you choose, but it's through sort of this like alchemy of all those things coming together. And so I don't think a song is ever done. But then sometimes you do have to like just share them with people in whatever form they're in and hope that they're livable. You know?
Well, we hope very soon to hear some done, or at least, done enough songs. Thank you so much.
That's what they will be. They will be done enough.
Awesome.
Yes. Yeah.
Thanks so much, Jahmal Padmore, for being here. We're looking forward to your performance and coming right up. With a range of influences from punk to electro to blues, this pioneer of the Toronto Afro-punk scene is ready to share his sound. With distinction, it's Jahmal Padmore.
Tripping off this good heart, all to see myself smile, loving your dependency and need for me. Haven't felt this way in a while. Some felt lamps inside of concretes, placebos for your soul. The world outside won't get you, squirrel, but your mind will when you're alone. Oh no, you're gone. Spiritual poverty, and that ain't right. All because of your biblical afflictions. The keys to your soul are in you, girl. Not in a man whose lust eyes. Self-filled lamps and topical creams. They are only placebos for your soul. The world outside won't get you, girl, but your mind will when you're alone. Oh no, you go. Oh no, where have you go? Oh no, you go. Oh no, where have you go? Oh no. Just for a minute there, we lost ourselves.